China is known as the People's Republic of China, and the country's nickname is Heavenly Country. It is a huge country located in East Asia and is considered the most populous country in the world. China shares borders with the coast of the East China Sea, the Korean Gulf, the Yellow Sea, and the South China Sea. China's neighbors from the south are Afghanistan, Pakistan, India, Nepal, Bhutan, Myanmar, Laos, and Vietnam. From the west of Tajikistan, Kazakhstan, and Kyrgyzstan, from the north of Russia and Mongolia, and are in the east of North Korea. Chinese culture and habits. In response to the question of what kind of country China is, in a short sentence it can be said that China is a country with diverse cultures, language, traditions, and economic levels. In particular, the economy of China has various levels and grades. China's main cities including Beijing and Shanghai are modern and relatively wealthy. However, despite the fact that only 10% of China's land is cultivated, about 50% of China's people still live in villages. Hundreds of millions of rural residents still farm and raise livestock. 200 to 300 million farmers have migrated to the cities to find work. In general, the people of the southern and eastern coastal areas are richer than the people in the interior of the country. The northern and southwestern regions of China are less developed. Considering the vast dimensions of China, this country is also very diverse from a cultural point of view. There are about 56 officially recognized ethnic groups in this country, and the remaining 10% are made up of 55 other groups. Many social behaviors that seems completely normal to the Chinese may be rude and contrary to the social customs in terms of other cultures and societies, and in a way, these cases can be considered the evils of China in the cultural field. Speeding. Chinese people speed on the ground in the streets, supermarkets, shops, hotel lobbies, restaurants, halls, buses, and even in hospitals. According to traditional Chinese medicine, swallowing saliva is against health. Speeding on the floor was greatly reduced in most developed areas of China, such as Beijing and Shanghai, after the epidemic of acute respiratory syndrome in 2022. However, other regions haven't abandoned this habit yet. Smoking. People in China smoke almost everywhere, even in areas that have no smoking signs, such as health centers, football fields, and hospitals. A limited number of restaurants have non-smoking areas, although in Beijing many restaurants have banned the smoking. The implementation of the smoking ban in China is very common, with the exception of Hong Kong people who still continue to smoke in public places. Lower class establishments in China often don't even have ashtrays. Western restaurants are the only places that seems to be strict with no smoking rules. In China, smoking in elevators, restrooms, massage parlors, or even hospitals is quite common. Staring. Staring is common throughout China. In China, staring at people is usually out of pure curiosity, not hostility. So don't be surprised if someone in China walks up to you and look at you as if they are watching TV. Chinese tourist attractions. Among the most important tourist attractions in China, we can mention the following. Great Wall of China, a wall with a length of more than 8,000 kilometers. This Asian wall is considered the most prominent symbol of China. Hainan, a tropical paradise island that is heavily under tourism development. Jiuzhaigou Nature. This area is famous for its pandas, as well as a multi-story waterfalls and colorful lakes. Leshan. This area is famous for its big river and its proximity to Mount Emi. Mount Everest, the largest mountain in the world, which is the borders between Nepal and Tibet. Mount Tai, one of the 5 sacred mountains of the Chinese, and because of its history, it has been the most hiked mountain in China. China weather. Due to the fact that China is a vast country, the variety of climate in this country is very large. They exist from tropical areas in the south of China to cold areas in the north of this country. Hainan Island is almost in the same geographical situation as Jamaica, while Harbin is one of the largest northern cities of this country. North China has 4 seasons, with very hot summers and very cold winters. But the air in the south of this country is cooler and humid. If you travel north and west, the climate will be drier. When you leave eastern China and enter the majestic highlands of Tibet or the desert of Gansu and Jiang, the distances are vast and the terrain extremely rugged. Chinese cuisine. Food diversity in China varies from region to region. Therefore, the term Chinese food is a comprehensive term. Keep in mind to avoid eating raw or undercooked food in China, because eating this food, especially in hot weather, may cause parasitic and bacterial infections. In addition, avoid eating seafood in all cities except Hong Kong, Beijing, Shanghai, and other big cities. In this country, based on the skin color of the customers, two different menus are offered, one for Chinese and one for foreigners, but most restaurants only have a Chinese menu. Many Chinese dishes contain ingredients that many people prefer not to try, such as dogs, snakes, and endangered species of animals. However, it is highly unlikely that you will order these dishes by mistake. Dog and snake are usually served in certain restaurants that usually don't hide their food. Obviously, dishes made with the meat of endangered animals have astronomical prices and are not listed on the regular menu. In general, rice is the main food of the people of the southern regions, and wheat, mostly in the form of noodles, is the main food of the people of the northern regions of China. Wonders of China. It is not bad to know that this country also has many wonders. We will mention a few of them. There is a one-child law in China, but it is changing. Due to the rapid growth, it is estimated that by 2025, there will be around 10 cities like New York and the same size in China. Everyone should watch a TV program at 7 p.m. In China, about 30 million people live in caves. People appear in pajamas in the city, and this is a normal issue from their point of view. In China, rich people hire fakes to go to jail instead of themselves, and they don't go to jail. The language of the Chinese people. The official language of the Chinese people is the Standard Mandarin. This language is mainly based on the Beijing dialect known as Putonghua in Chinese. Mandarin has been the only language taught in Chinese schools since 1950, so most people in China speak it. Many regions of China, especially the southern and southeastern regions, have their own dialect. While you can speak standard Mandarin in most parts of China, locals always try to use local idioms and words in their conversation. In the last 20 years, Chinese students have been forced to learn English in elementary and middle school. Passing the English language test is required to get a bachelor's degree at the university, regardless of the field of study. People in Shanghai and Beijing are more proficient in English than other cities. In some cities, despite the many tourist attractions, it is rare to find people who speak English.